What up, everyone? And it's time. Yes, I'm going to throw on the hat again. It is time for Mixtape Madness. Ha ha. Yes, this is the Comic Outlaw, and I told you it was coming back. Yes. Now, to make this short and sweet, back in the day, there was a thing called a cassette. You can only record a certain amount of songs. Some on one side, some on the other, before you had to flip it over. So my rule is this: no more than 13 songs. And if they're like 20-minute songs, then that cuts down on the length. Now, if you actually go through the order and the timing of this, I've actually kind of kept it, cut and dry. I love the Doors so much, I did a volume 1 and 2, which I will be doing later. And I love the Doors. They're a great band, very influential. The heyday, the psychedelic times, they had a very dark edge to them. I'm a big Jim Morrison fan. I've read a lot of his poetry. I've read a few books on him, this and that. I find Jim Morrison to be interesting. He was one of those people that can make a crowd love and hate him at the same time, and he loved playing with people's emotions. He was truly the Dionysus of his time. And if you don't know who Dionysus is, look it up. But anyways, moving on to the Mixtape Madness. As I said, side A, side B. We will start with side A. The first song that I pick is Break On Through the Other Side. Yeah, because if you're going to start the Doors, you want to start it off right. Break on through to the other side. And then I would put 5 to 1. 5 to 1's a great song. It was sampled by Jay-Z a while back to make an song. It has a lot of balls to it. It has like that protest kind of feel, like they got the guns, but we got the numbers. Gonna win. Yeah, we're taking. God, you just love that song. And I would slow it down a little bit with People Are Strange. Very interesting song. Kind of gives that slow, bluesy influence, because the Doors had a lot of influences. Manzarek himself had a lot of like classic, like a piano playing. I think the guitars had a lot of flamenco guitar playing. So they had a lot of different styles. Jim Morrison, of course, loved blues, and it all mixed in really well. And speaking of which, our next song is Roadhouse Blues, picking it back up, because I just love this song. Roadhouse Blues is just one of those classic, let's have a beer, have a good time, go out romping and stomping with the boys, chasing this and that, if you know what I mean. Trying to find a woman that you could just take home, and hopefully her pipes are clean. Oh man, it feels good to work it like a machine. But anyways, that's neither here or there. Roadhouse Blues just provides that nice ballsy tune. And I love, there's several versions of it. There's a live version that just completely kicks ass. I believe it's on American Prayer. Really good. And moving on from that, we're going to go to Riders on the Storm. Slowing it down a little bit again. A wonderful song. It's kind of about like a hitchhiker, crazy person. And I've seen this music video on YouTube where it's Jim Morrison calling. It's like, I just killed somebody and I'm on the highway. It's really interesting. It's a real slow song. Has a darker feel to it. But it's wonderful. Manzarek's playing in the keyboard is awesome. Like I said, the Doors have a cabaret of different music. It's really worth listening to. And I would, of course, have to cap off side A with The End. Now, there's two versions. There's a 15-minute one, but I'm choosing the one from Apocalypse Now, where they cut some of the stuff out and it goes into Jim Morrison going, yeah, come on. It's about 7 minutes long. That's why I'm capping it off at side A. But I feel the Apocalypse Now version is smoother. It is 7 minutes long. It's not as long, but it goes like that middle part kind of makes it flow better. It gives you that insanity feeling moreover, which I think is cool. Moving on to what I would refer to as side B, Peace Frog. You guys never heard Peace Frog? Blood in the street, it's up to my ankles. It's a very deceptive name for the song. A very cool little ditty. I'd recommend checking it out. Like I said, they would come up with these funky names, funky songs, and that's what kind of made them stand out at the time. They were just different. Not to mention that I guess Jim Morrison was easy on the eyes for a lot of women, and he liked to basically screw anything that moved. Like I said, he was the Dionysus of his time. If you don't know who Dionysus is, pick up a book and read your Greek mythology. Or, I don't know, get on your phone and look it up. Lazy people, I swear. Now, I would put Wild Child next to that. Wild Child. Pick it up a little bit. Has kind of a real like dirty sound that like that. I just kind of like how it has like a real basic kind of sound to it, and the guitar riffs are just out of this world when it goes bang bang bang. Worth checking out. Like I said, if you don't know who the Doors are, you need to look them up. Go to YouTube, go somewhere, and check them out. It's well worth your time. Now, moving on from Wild Child, Universal Mind. I know people are going to say that it's only like a chant of like, I think 2 or 3 sentences or one verse, but a lot of songs are like that. Look at the early Beatles stuff. Look at the 50s or even some Elvis Presley stuff. Universal Mind's a good song, especially off the Doors live album. I found that interesting. Jim Morrison was really on point. The Doors live album is one of the albums that came out a little later. Very cool. Has some cool versions of the songs that you won't hear anywhere else. And speaking of from the live album, I had to pluck one song out. It was "Who Do You Love?" That "Who Do You Love Now?" Yes, from the live album. It's really cool. It has like a really odd sound, and it has like this infectious movement. This like dark bluesy song with this fast, kind of hectic pace. Is worth listening to. Like I said, Doors live album. And I had to slow it down a little bit with The Spy, because it's always good to be a spy in the house of love. You know, I'm a spy. And anyone that's seen the movie, that's kind of one of the points where he's talking to his chick too. You know, because he knows the dream that she's dreaming of. And then I would pick it up a little bit with Land Ho. Land Ho is just a funky little song. It's about literally a guy that gets tired of being on land and wants to sell off again and have adventures and do it. Like if you listen to it, it's just kind of like the metaphor for like Jim. You know, I'm getting weary, I'm getting tired, I need to move, I need to do something, I need to get up and get going. I feel that way sometimes too. That's why I travel from place to place, from multiverse to multiverse. I understand, looking for that land ho. Yes, and then the final song would be "Strange Days." Yes, and it was also the title of this album too. It's a wonderful song, and of course, because I believe nowadays strange days have found us. With us strange hours, we lay here alone. So yes, that is the Comic Outlaws Mixtape Madness. The Doors, with Volume 2 coming out very soon. And if you got a request for the Comic Outlaw to do a mixtape madness on one of your favorite bands, then just drop me a line. Because I'm always here going from multiverse to multiverse. But I always got time for a little verse, so drop me a line. And this is the Comic Outlaw. And I'll catch you on the flip side.